In this video, we'll go over the basics of reading notes in music. Music notes are written on a musical staff. The staff is made up of 5 lines and the 4 spaces between those lines. Notes can appear on a line, with the staff line going through the circle part of the note known as the note head, and notes can appear in a space, with the space going through the note head. We read music left to right, just like when we're reading English. Each note has its own name. The names follow the order of the alphabet, A, B, C, D, E, F until G. As they move forward in the alphabet, notes move higher in the staff and sound higher on your instrument. After G, we restart the pattern at A. Notice now how some notes have names that repeat. Notes with the same name and a different sound will look different on the staff. Let's look at some notes. These are called A, B, C, D. Notice how the notes alternate between space, line, as they go up. These next examples have notes that look the same as the first example, but the note names are different. That's because of the different symbols at the beginning of each example. These symbols are called clefs. Different instruments use different clefs, but you only need to know your clef. The first one is called treble clef. It's used for high voices. Violins use treble clef. The second one is called alto clef. It's used for middle voices. Violas use alto clef. This last one is called bass clef. It's used for low voices. Both cello and bass use bass clef, but the notes on a bass will sound lower than those on a cello. This image shows the relationship between the 3 clefs, with alto clef being in the middle of treble and bass, sharing some of the low notes of treble clef and some of the high notes of bass clef. You don't really need to know this, I just think it's cool. Now let's learn about your clef. To make memorization easier, we've grouped notes into spaces and lines. Notes on the lines read F, A, C, E, G. To memorize this order, we see the word face, so that's how we're going to memorize the order of the notes on the lines. Face, G. Notes in the spaces read G, B, D, F, A. There's no word that we can create out of this order. However, we can create a phrase made from words that start with these letters. And since I like food, the phrase I like to use is good burritos don't fall apart. G, B, D, F, A. Our instruments can play more notes than the staff can hold. When we need to extend the staff, we use ledger lines. Notice how the notes still alternate between space, line, even with the ledger lines. Notes can technically go higher than this, but these are the highest notes you'll need to know for now. Ledger lines can also extend lower. Notice how the names move backwards now in the alphabet as the notes are going lower. These are the lowest notes possible on your instrument, so the lowest note a viola can play is C. Memorizing note names is crucial to reading music, but don't worry, we'll get lots of practice in class.